Hello and welcome to the Saintly Sounder, your source for all things FIFA. Last week I talked about it and now we finally see it. It is my review of second In-Form Perisic. I played him at striker and he did not disappoint. The Croatian superstar is already on his second In-Form of the year. I hope he gets a third In-Form. I can only imagine how awesome those card stats would be. So here's the squad I used in him. For some reason it cut really weird on Microsoft Paint. But Perisic is up top on 7 chem next to Royce and Aubameyang. Is it sweaty? Yes. Is it incredibly effective? You betcha. Vidal and Pogba play a big role in this squad as well. But it's my main man Perisic who is going to come up big more often than not. He's just such an imposing figure for your team. Alright, so here are his stats. I played 20 games with him so far. He scored 19 goals and had 6 assists, and he felt like a legend. He had a point per game total of 1.3, which you might think is kind of low for a guy I'm raving about. But the important thing to note is I DNF'd 3 games. All 3 were due to my internet dropping out. I have yet to figure out why that's occurring. But all 3 I had substantial leads, and in none of them did the goals Perisic have or the assists that he have count. So I figure his score is a little bit higher, which really would push him into the truly elite range and an absolute bargain at his current 40,000 on the Xbox. So here we go. There's no point in listing all of the stats he's good at because the page would be like 6 pages long. But what you do need to know, he has 4-star skills and 5-star weak foot. That's something you might not realize just looking at the base card. You might have overlooked him because of pace. But now with his second In-Form, his upgrades have been so big that you really can't ignore this guy, and he's the best 5-star shooter in the game who's not Hernan Crespo, you PS4 users. I mean, that's a weak-footed finesse shot there, and he is just so good all over the field. Look at this. And when I say his long shots are broken, I mean, that had serious hang time. I mean, you could walk it with the ball hung over your head, and I don't think you could have put it any more perfect. But that's just Perisic's shot. It's kind of crazy. Like, I think his shots are broken in this game for some odd reason because it's just on a line straight into the corner. He's unlike any other shooter I have used in this game. The other big perk that you have when you play Perisic at striker is that you get another guy that has really good passing stats, and you're going to see here he gets involved in this play before ultimately scoring the goal. He plays Royce, finds the open space very nicely, and again, that's a weak-footed finesse shot that ends up feeling more like a driven shot. I mean, he's got really good shot power, really good finishing. He's got long shot trait. Again, that 5-star weak foot. I mean, look at that. There's not many in the game that can do that with their weak foot. Again, long shots are really a specialty. Look here. This is going to be on his strong foot, and it's like you walk it into the top corner. I mean, that had like 3 seconds of hang time. There's absolutely no zip to the ball, but it's so effective. It really does feel almost like cheating. Also note how he weaves through these 2 guys before finishing it. There's not many big men. He's 6'2" and he's got the touch of a Messi type player. He can be a little clunky at times, but his touch, his fake shots just feel so solid, and he's a big boy with decent strength, so he is going to hold off challenges. That big boy physicality is going to be on display here. Royce takes kind of a hit and hope ball, but Aubameyang chases it down. He's going to whip it in. Boom. Perisic wide open. Like I said, at 6'2", he's going to win you a fair amount of aerial balls. I mean, there is nothing this guy can't do, which is what makes him so scary. Unless you need a 90 pace guy, he is your man, and he's a man you need to hold on to. Again, here he's going to get involved in the interplay before finishing again on that weak foot. It's so nice to not even have to focus one bit about getting a guy onto a strong foot. You can shoot with either one, and he's got such shot power on it that it's always deadly. And he does have a good nose for goal, which can sometimes be overlooked. That's the big problem I had with Choupo-Moting when I used him. Here Perisic just finds a spot and give him half a chance, and look at that. Off the post is lucky. But there are, I mean, again, weak foot, finesse, corner, goal. I mean, there's nothing more you could ask from him. He's an excellent bargain at twice the price. He's the closest you're going to get to the legend feel without affording a legend, or the closest you're ever going to get on a PS4. So here's my final analysis. I give him a 9.3. That's on par with Shevchenko and Vieri. That's how good he feels. His pace, 8 out of 10. I mean, again, he's not going to sprint by everyone, but he's going to be able to stay away on breakaways, and he's got the strength to hold off any challenges once you get past shoulder length. His shooting is where he really excels. His long shots are flat broken, and his inside the box finishing is equally as good on his right and on his left, which makes him a truly unique player. His dribbling, his fake shots are really good. He's got 4-star skills, so you can do a lot of the more fancy stuff with him. His big knock is that he can feel clunky at times, so be careful if you're going to launch a big skill run with him. Being a converted winger, his passing stats are very good as well, and he can get the job done feeding the ball and creating chances for his teammates. Physically, he's a big boy and can play accordingly. His only big weakness here is that he only has 78 strength, which means he will get bullied by some of the bigger guys, but there aren't few players in the game that wouldn't. His intangible rating, I give it a 9.5. He can more than create for his teammates, as shown by his fairly high assist ratio, but he also just feels amazing. Again, knowing that you can shoot on either foot is something that I would pay $300,000 or more, especially for this type of big, strong card. Alright, so if you found this at all interesting or helpful, or maybe you heeded my warning last week when I told you to buy this guy during the Christmas crash, I don't know. Like and subscribe. I'm on Twitch at the Saintly Sounder. I do try to get daily broadcasts in there. I'm on Twitter at the Red Death 329 if that's your thing. Until next time, see you on the pitch.